Yes, I see it on the Sivas. Sorry, says no nafkimin, but in the Sivas nafkimin. You printed everyone in the Sivas? You can see, we should see it in the Sivas. You printed everyone in the Sivas. It just says the EKO, but what he says here. In the Sivas here, we learned the Machloikas Maim Taz. Shma says if somebody gave money, not b'toiras tchilas piroin, just b'toiras kin lo ikono. The tax says no, I can give to the land money not b'toiras tchilas piroin, just b'toiras kinyan also works. What's the raya? So I learn Kesef by Karka. I learn it. I learn Kesef from Isha. I learn. How do I learn Kesef by a woman? I learn it from Zdefon. Zdefon was definitely the value. And a woman is not value. A woman is not, you don't pay value to a woman. So it must be also by Karka, although the 400 zuz was valued, but it's not the Kenyan. The Kenyan is, the Kesef is B'teras Kenyan, not in the Torah of Atcholas Piron. Which means by Karka, I can have two options, he says. Maybe it means Atcholas Piron, and maybe it means Kenyan. But since Isha, Kiddushin Isha learned from some Sodeh, and Kiddushin Isha definitely is not Shovi. It's not a value. So it must be also by land. Don't learn is that Cholas Piroin, rather it's Kenyan. So he says, the Nesivus argues, V'ine Mashem Isi Golov. Here the Nesivus argues, and this is Moichiach, Moichiach like the Taz. We will have the Nesivus. Nice printing. Okay. No, it's not in the sheets. It's in the sheets. We brought the Smain Taz and now the Miluim. We adding the Nesivus.
Where are those sheets now?
They're printing it now, right now. I missed him in here. I went to daven by Israelis. I wanted to see how the Israelis daven. The boys get up or not. They're sleeping there. One day they daven very long. I mean, they daven too late. Okay. I really see in the left side, Mishpat Urim Biurim. There's two columns below the Shulchan Aruch, right? The right side or left side. The left side is the Nesivus and length. Mishpat Urim Biurim. See the Biurim? There's Kiddushin and Biurim. On the left side is Biurim. Is the letter Bet? You see Bet? Kesef Shvei Kesef. I am Asma, look in the Sma. Sivkoton Aleph Shekosav, he wrote. The call Shelo Inosam B'Toras At Cholas Piroin. As long as you didn't give as a beginning of payment, Rak L'Teras Kinyan owes only for acquisition, the Loikono. So according to the Sma, if I want to buy land and I give part of the money, depends my intention. If my intention is the beginning, if I'm giving it as a beginning of payment, tchilas piroen, it works. But if I only gave it as an acquisition, like Kinyan, Kalipin, Shtar, and Selcher, lo ikono. Ubataz isigo yain sham. The Taz is not true. I will show you from Yervoy Ikoin that I can have a language of Kinyan, and it's not tchilas piroen. I'm saying my deposit, my guarantee, should be a payment, or what I give as a guarantor to you. I want it should be as a payment. It should be as a kinyan, not as a payment. This is when the e-coin will be kinyan, and it's not the same value, it works. I'm not saying I'm going to fill up the rest of the money. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about dafka. No, he's not running after money. No, even he's running after money. I just say when the e-coin works. So it must be I'm giving you the teras kinyan. והנה מה שהשיגו לו מודרבוי נעיקום לכמון יסבר וסום. What the Taz asked the question of Rabbi Nikon, he will explain later on. But v'gam kosher divrei asma. Says the word of the Sma is hard. But the shekosav, what he wrote, the Kesef nilman misdeefoi. That money you learn from Zdefoi. And by Zdefoi, the money was the value. This is not true. Though behedem mevu bekiddushin of chovov, dil nilman mikro the sodes bakesef iknu. We learn it from a pasuk in Yirmiyahu that says, "Fields you buy with money." So there is no raya that money bedavke has to be valued, because also it says the word yiknu as a kinyan, not as 400 kesef that is per merchant over la soicher. V'ayin betoises sham. Look at Toises then toward page 26. Dibura matchil o marko. Ve'i efshar lilmod klal mizde efroin. You have to see that Toises. Toises in Kiddushin, Daf Chavov, the Gemara learns, the Gemara brings two psukim. One pasuk, Kichagim is the Efroin. That we learn, and there says the word Kicha. Right? And the other pasuk is Sodesh Bakesef Iglu. So Toises of Chavov, that's the Toises of Chavov. Chavov Amud Aleph, page 26a. 26a, that's in the Tosfot. Chavov Amud Aleph. The Gemara says, how do I learn Kesef? How do I know that I buy land with Kesef? Says, Nechosim shesh lamachrayus, assets which has responsibility, which means land, niknim bekesef. Bekesef minolon. O machiski o makosod bekesef iknu. We don't learn it from Avraham Avinu. We learn it from Sodom bekesef iknu, which is a pasuk in Jeremiah. Says Toisves. O Deloi, I see mikro dechsiga be'efoy. Why the Gemara learns that we learn Kesef by Karka from Yirmiyahu, so the Kesef, why we don't we learn to bring the pasuk from Ephraim, from Avraham Avinu? He answers, Mishum dedilma animile minochi, shekol kinyon bekesef. The story of Avraham Avinu and Ephraim is no raya that you buy land with money. Because only maybe there was a goy. And by goyim, the whole kinyan is money. That's why I have to bring the pasuk of Jeremiah. It's talking about Jews. And Jeremiah says, Sodos, the Sodos of the Jews, Bakesef inikinu, they will buy with money. So that's the only raya. From the pasuk of Ephraim, there's no raya. So he says, how can the Sma bring a raya? It seems by Ephraim, he gave 400 shekel. Over lasoicher means the money he gave was the value of the field. So maybe always when I buy land, if I pay part, it always has to be value, or the beginning of value, or the full value. It's not true. The Pasuk of Ephraim is not the source of Kinyan Kesef by Karka. As you see, page 26, the source of Kinyan Karka is from Sodom Kesef Ignu. And other Rabbi says you cannot learn from Sodom Ephraim because they may be kosher called Kinyon Bekezah, but a goy, and the goy only buys with money, but a Jew buys with shtar or other ways. And so you have to bring a Pasuk of a Jew, not from a goy. From a goy I can't learn. No raya. I would say, you know why you buy land by a goy with money? Because his whole kin is only money. But a Jew has other kinyonim. Maybe Mashiach, I mean Chazoko, or Shtar. So who says money works? You have to bring the Pasuk, Sodom Kesef Ignu. And by Sodom Kesef Ignu doesn't say value. Maybe it's a kinyan, maybe it's value. So the Sma is no raya. The Sma's raya was, since we learned the source of kinyan Kesef by land is Avraham Avinu and Ephraim there, the money was the value. Abba Moshe says, it's not true. If you look page 26, we see that the source of the limud of Kesef by land is some sort of Kesef Ignu. There doesn't say value, just coin it. Oimnam, however, Baprishe Kosav, Bezel Shoymer. The Sma wrote on the two books called Prisha and Drisha. So the same Sma wrote in his book Prisha. He wrote as follows: the imken, if so, that kinyan is value. Me'eichon yalfinon. Where do we learn this? If kinyan is if kesef is only a kinyan, not value, we have to ask where we know this. The end kesef pogol mishove pruto kolemisha. How do we know that less than the value of pruto doesn't work by a woman? Ve'isho gamrin mizdefoy. And the woman we learn from zdefoy. Kesef is the Ephraim, and the money by the Ephraim, or your Dmei Shiva Kol HaSodeh. The money of the Sodeh Ephraim was the money of the value of the whole field. But when I don't have money of the value of the let's say Pruto, how do I know it doesn't work by your woman? Isha we learn from the Ephraim, and they had a full value. But when I don't have a full value, maybe I don't need a Shove Pruto. Maybe less than Shabbat also works. Must be that when I learn from therefore the full value, also what part of the value has to be value, has to be Shabbat Pruto. The Shabbat Pruto is not a value because it's not a kinyan, rather it's value. Again, Chalipin can be less than Shabbat Pruto. Why? Zev. It's the kinyan. It's not the value. It's not the value of the object which makes a kinyan. It's just an act of exchanging. So therefore, it's a symbol, right? So therefore, it doesn't have to be Shoveh Pruto. It should be maybe Choshu, Kli, or something. But it doesn't have to be value of Pruto. So we want to know, how do I know that a woman is not koine less than Shoveh Pruto? If you learn from Ephraim, what the money is there was a full value of the field. Must be that what? That we learn that a kinyan by Isha is all full value or part value, but it's all value. Unless I should put, there's no value. So that's a raya to the Sma that the money by a field or by a woman, which is the same, is not kinyan, rather is value. Because if it was only a kinyan, it could be even less a short puto. We know a woman is not less a short puto. What? Why not? Chalipin. The Gemara says many places that Chalipin can be less a short puto. Because it just has to be chashuv. It can be kli. It has to be a functional thing. What? So he's asking, how do we know that? If we learn from Steph when there was the value. So then I understand. Value, full value, part value is also value. Unless there's no value. But if it's just a kinyan, pure kinyan, Like Chalipin. So how do I know that a woman is not miskadesha? That's Shabbat Puto. That's a smas raya. Comes the series says no raya. Oinom ganzem lo asishabi. Even this is not a proof. Why? That Bes Yosef, he says, lo ikosav klal atam. The Bes Yosef did not write out all the reason. They ain't pochel Shabbat Puto koine. Listen to Siyat Shemaim. That less than the value of Puto acquires, mishum denilman miisho v'sode efoy. The Bes Yosef didn't say that a woman cannot be acquired less than the value of Puto, because I learned a woman from Zdephon, and Zdephon was the value. Actually, Kosav, he wrote, however, he did write something else. This is language. A woman doesn't acquire by Chalipin less than the value of Puto. Land you can buy with Chalipin, less than the value of Puto. But a woman you cannot acquire than less than Shabbat Puto. Because of our Teisatam, Teisus wrote the reason is because by a woman, Goma Kicha Kirim is the effort. By a woman, we learn Kicha Kirim is the effort. It says Kika Chishisho. It says Kicha by is the effort. The Chsibu Kesef, it says their money. Less than the value of Puto, no Mikre Kesef, it's not called Kesef. The intention of Yosef is came with Shekosua since they just wrote. The program of Shabbat Puto Kesef less than value Puto is not called Kesef. Im can if so, Gabekinyan Kaka Bekesef, also by acquiring land with Kesef, didn't need man Mikol from the verse of the Kesef Iknu. Meila Shaminam from here we learned by itself. The Nimir Shabbat Puto cannot buy land unless it's Shabbat Puto. Why? That Posha Puto Mikre Kesef, not called Kesef, less than value Puto. Okay, but Toises. Now she learns the Rabono. Toises learn is Lat Kesef. You can't get Bekinyan Kaka Bekesef. You can't get Bekinyan Kaka Bekesef. Same way by land. When I buy land with money, the Nima Mikro, the sons of Kizikno, Mimele, by itself we hear. You cannot acquire the field less than Shabbat Puto. Why? The Posha Puto, Mikre Kesef, less than Vayapur, is not called Kesef. Not because it's not valued, it's not called, that's not the name. When I would tell us the word kesef, I have to look in the dictionary. What kesef means? Measurement of Puto. Less than that is not called kesef. But not because less than is not value. Because kesef is value, it's not value. No, it's not called kesef. In Kenga Bekinyan Kaka Bekesef. ממילא שזה לא מקרה בממוצע, דו פושע בוטו למקרה כסף. וקרוא דקסיב סול בכסף יקנו. Okay. So what does he say? He's saying the Sma brought his arrive in the Prisha, his book Prisha. That since a woman cannot be acquired unless it's Shabbat Puto, and we learn it from a Sode, there was a full value of the money must be Kesef is value. He says no. Maybe Kesef means Kinyan. Why less of Shabbat doesn't work? Because it's not called Kesef. You only, the Torah says you only can acquire with Kesef. And less of Shabbat is not called Kesef. Maybe. Why is that called Kesef? Because it's not important. No value. But it's not because of the value, because it's not called Kesef. Same thing as by land. Less of Shabbat is not called Kesef. But when it's called Kesef, it's not the value that makes the Kinyan. Rather the Kesef, the Shem Kesef makes the Kinyan. The oid kosher, and more it's hard for me al das asma. Says I have another kasha and opinion of the sma. Shekos of the sma wrote the davka kshenosan lashav pruto al dmei apiroin. Specifically, when I gave him the value of pruto as a payment, paying off the value. It's not true. If I give them money, you heard about this concept ever? Rabbi Yeshua. What is matona maslachzi? I'm giving you as a gift with condition to give back. Can I buy the esrog like this? Can I marry a woman? The Gemara in Nafei Amud Beis says, the Gemara says in Nafei Amud Beis that you can buy land, you can buy everything besides a woman. Sorry, Daf 4. Daf Amud Beis. The Gemara says a rule. Eilach mona mash tachzireu li, במכר לא יקונו, באישו אינו מקודש ומיון הבן אין בנוי פונוי. בתרומה אצל הנשיא, אלו מרוב, אלו מרבש. בכולו קוני, with land and pidyon haben and truma, all of them you can acquire with maton maslachs. Lebar mi isha, isha is a separate thing. If he's in the Bechalipin, because there's a bizoyon or that doesn't have shem kesef, so comes and he says, since you can buy land with maton maslachs, must be that the money you're giving is not meipiron, is not money of payment of a debt, because as you gave it a condition to give it back. How can I buy land would give you money with condition to give it back? If it's a beginning of payment, payment means it stays by you. If it's there to give it back, it's not payment. It's just an act. If it's an act, okay. Even though you're giving back afterwards, but right now it's a gift and with condition, so you have an act of giving. But if it's a payment, it's not a payment. What do you want to say? Okay, but it's not a payment. You can say it's a kinyan. Look at the shasmaise, but payment is not. Piroin is not. Showing is not paying back. It's a show. Even I'm not giving you this as part of the value of the field. And Ravashi says I can buy a field like that. Must be that Kesef is not a shavius, it's a kinyan. So how the Sma will answer that? You have to answer the Sma with a narrow way. Maybe it's a payment, like you said, we look at a moment, payment, later on give it back, but now it's a payment, later on, Hashem Yerachim. But Vizet Doichak is very narrow. Lochen, the Taz conclude. Lochen Aika Keataz. The main thing is like the Taz, and the Siva says the Lochen like the Taz, that Kinyan Kesef by a soda and by a woman is Kinyan and not Shavias. Even when I give you the money, it's only to make the acquisition, nothing with payments, nothing with value. If that's my intention, it works. Yes. Not like that, the Miluim, rather like the Taz. This is the conclusion of the Sma, of the Sivas. And by the way, it's more alone like the Sivas, is a later on. Like the Taz, yes. Yes.
Shavius is talking about the Shavius, how the woman relates to the thing she is getting. It has nothing to do with the Kenyan. If you're talking the Bechin of Shavius, is that what it means? It's a concept, Shavius?
Yes, but what do you say? What do you just said now? If it's Shavius, Shavius means value. And the land is worth much more. It's a beginning of payment, but the format and the way Kinyan Kesef works, it's a format of value, giving value. It's a starting of payment, paying off the value. The way to acquire the land when I pay off the value. And by the way, most people look at things like that. When I buy land, I think about, he's going to pay me value or is making an acquisition?
Well, it's by giving value. When you give value as an initial payment, but it's only, it doesn't make a Kenyan because only the Kenyan is when all the money is paid.
Right. When you have all the money is paid, the value acquires it, or the Maisa Kenyan acquires it. So the Sma learns is the value. The Taz learns is the Maisa Kenyan. The value is a side thing. It could be a loan, it could be a payment later on. That's a machlokes, a very major machlokes. So really, the machlokes here by land. If I give it only in the Shem Kesef, Shem Kin, if it works or not. According to the Smart, doesn't work. Taz and Nesivus, it works. What about a woman? By a woman is Shavius or Kinyan is machlokes too. The Taz understood as a Kinyan. And the Smart learned by it's also Shavius. The Torah Shavius. As we saw in the Avnei Miluim. So you have Avnei Miluim with the Smart, you have the Nesivus with the Taz. What do you want to say?
It could be but it's classy for the person.
What was the first one? Right.
So maybe because we are both, maybe we are right. We have to because the economy, but because the economy doesn't disprove the concept of value. It doesn't over there. It doesn't bring specific value.
If it's the only source, so we follow the source. But as an addition, so the main thing is a kinyan. So it's like an iknu is kinyan. And there, by the way, what they gave the value is true. Otherwise, you didn't agree to sell the land. But what acquires the land is not the value. You give value, otherwise the person won't agree. I want to sell my house, I want the value. I won't agree to sell it to you without the value. But how do I sell it? With an act. That's according to the Smart. Obviously, I won't agree to make the act unless I'm insured, I'm secured with the value. They give me the value. Well, why are you giving it to me? I have to give it to me. When it's the deposit, but I need the value. But the value is not what requires it. It's the act, according to the Smart. According to the Nesivus and the Taz, no, sorry. The Nesivus and the Taz is an act. But the Smart learned is the value. And even if they don't give the full value, as it gives a fraction of it, but it's the beginning of payment, so it's an act of value. The acquisition is an act of value. Okay, we'll stop here. Came late today, but I want to start the Birkas Shmos. So go over the Nesivus. I didn't really wanted to do today. I've been Miluim with the Raya of the Rosh of the. Okay. Okay. You have to learn it well. What exactly the Raya is? Rabbi Hanania ben Akashoin.
What happens if it's a result, but not an act?
Why? Baruch is not valuable because she could be worth it. This is the world of selling. It's not a world of kinyan. We sell a shtachoy, so he says, but he's not worth the money. So
I'm a Kaddish who in Shtar. I'm not a Kaddish within Shtar. I am a Kodesh Asli. I mean, I'm a Kaddish with the value of it. You see, it's the Kiddushin's value. Okay.
but her it's not valuable.
Yeah, who said it's the key? And maybe it's just our agreement.
No, because he said, because it's selling. I'm selling here. I'm
giving her a document of other people's.
Right, so give me here something that's valuable. Not give me here a suit or something like I might say kinyan. I give me here a value, some value.
Because you don't like more than that, but maybe it's a king is a king and the value is an agreement. If I'm more than she has also to agree, who says it's a raya for the king? That's I don't still understand. It's not a raya. Rabbi Hanania ben Akashoin.